Hello beautiful souls and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Sanja and basically we're talking about life improvement, and I'm giving you maybe some tips and maybe new information that may help you have a better life, happier life. So here we go. Today I've actually been inspired by this topic with my conversation with my brother a few weeks back, and we were there was some person in our family that really hurt me, and my brother asked me, how come you're not visiting that person, or how come you're not in touch with that person? You're talking about all this happier, better version of yourself. How come you're not, being maybe smarter, better than that person, and just start, communicating with that person? And so this is basically what it's about, because he didn't get it at the time, and I think it's really important for other people to maybe understand this a bit more. It's like people thinking that being a good person and being taken advantage of is the same thing. It's not. So they're really two different things. But this video is about, should you forgive? Like, is it good for you? Is it bad for you? What's the difference between forgiveness, between understanding someone, where they're coming from, and between but justifying someone's actions? And I want to clarify this. So first of all, when that person hurt me and did what, they did, this was 13 years ago, maybe 13 years. And I don't know even how to explain this at the time. This is who I am and who I have been. So when the times are rough, I'm usually really strong, and I don't get my emotions get in the way with me, and after the storm is over, kind of it would all smash me down to the ground. And this person actually was hurting me for a very long time, for years, throughout my high school period actually. And I don't know how to say, I was really strong. I didn't let any of my family members know at the time. Now they do, but at the time I didn't want to maybe ruin someone's day. Everyone tells you should be strong, so that's what I did. I didn't tell anyone. Actually, the only person that knew was my boyfriend at the time. And after that period, I was so depressed. I didn't know what was going on. Everything basically hit me. And everyone in the family, I don't know if they have forgiven that person, but I really have. And should you forgive? Yes, from my point of view, but why? So forgiveness is actually something that's inside of you. It's bringing you down, it's tearing you apart, it's bringing, your body, your health, everything can crumble. Not necessarily, but in time, if that weighs you down for that long period of time, it really can hurt you. And I actually have, when I was analyzing this a few years back, I actually have black holes in my memory. It was depression, obviously, but it was so, when people tell me, oh, you've been here, or, this is the last time we met, I don't remember. When I met with my mates years back, he's like, oh, I can't believe you're gonna finally, come back to my apartment again, because I've been away for so long. And I'm like, I've never been here. He's like, you have. So many things I couldn't remember. Obviously, no one is lying. Why should they all lie? Like 20 people. But it was really, that's how bad I was. So I don't, probably, there are some people actually, they even said that I've met, that I can't for the love of me remember them. Nothing. And I wasn't, doing drugs. I wasn't an alcoholic. I wasn't doing pot. I wasn't, there wasn't anything that would suggest, oh, maybe it's because of that. It was purely depression. And I think one of the reasons is me not being able to forgive that person, all those years of, you know, torture and sadness and just, you know, trying to find the way to get out of that situation. And then when I finally did, I was completely and utterly lost. Now, years back, what really helped me, let's say, go through this is I watched a video where they were talking about understanding, not justifying a person's behavior, because obviously what that person did to me was nowhere near justifying or approving or in any way good, but understanding what they're coming from, understanding how they grew up, understanding, you know, listen, none of the babies or the children that are born in this world are born as, you know, murderers or that they want to hurt someone. You see baby giggling and being happy, and so someone along the way taught them the way that they behave like this. They have so much pain inside. The happy person is never gonna attack another happy person, is never gonna bring another person down, is not gonna say negative, bad words. So if someone says anything that's not right, do something that it's not right, it's because they're really, really hurting. This understanding and this sort of, it was, you know, obviously never my fault, but, you know, always that question of why did it happen? Can't believe that person did to me. They're a really close family member. No one should be able to experience this. What's going on? Why me? And so on. It was never about why me. It was never about, so that understanding of, you know, that person did the best that they could, but they didn't know any better, and God knows the way they were raised in order to behave the way that they did. So when I understood what was going on, again, not justifying, I think one of the reasons why people don't forgive person is because they think if they do, they're going to justify their behavior. It's completely different things. You can forgive without justifying. For me, it's actually forgiveness without justifying at all. So you're not supposed to justify. You're supposed to understand where they're coming from, why they are the way they are, why they did the way they did. Just forgive them. No, it's not you. No, it's not them. Because although it's their responsibility now, again, years of God knows what their parents did to them, and, you know, all of this stuff. It's just perception of, if I was growing up the way they did, I would probably be the same. And that really hit me. Like, I didn't have the childhood that person did. I didn't have the experiences, and God knows what else that I don't know about. So it really helps you put into perspective of, oh my God, if I went through the same thing, I could have even been worse. Not only the same, but even worse. And that's where all the forgiveness starts. Obviously, some people should be in the process of forgiving themselves, not only the other person. And again, understanding, try to go back of what your hurt is, what are you going through, what you went through. If you think when you look in the mirror that you're not beautiful, who convinced you you're not beautiful? Was it someone in the kindergarten or school or parents? Who convinced you? And that's just an example, but anything in life. Let's say if you're in a relationship and you say, oh my God, so sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I know I speak too much. Maybe when you were a kid, parents would tell you, oh, you speak too much, shut up. And that, along the way, just transferred that, oh, I speak too much, I shouldn't have, I know that's bad, and stuff like that. So again, just giving you examples, but all those little things just pick up, and if you don't detect it, it's really hard to forgive yourself or other person. So no justifying, no approving of what that person did. Forgiveness is like hate, is like drinking the poison and wishing for the other person to die or get hurt. It's not gonna happen. You're drinking that poison. It's not gonna be any of the damage to another person. And then another thing, if you wish for that other person to be, anything negative, whatever that may be, if you wish it to not be well or to something to happen, you're attracting that in your life, not in the same way, not necessarily in the same way, but you're sending out that energy of negativity. Doesn't matter towards who it is. You're bringing it all back to yourself. Do you really want that? And another thing, if you're not forgiving someone else, you're actually giving power to that person. You're giving power to that person to ruin your day, to ruin even if it's few seconds, few minutes, days, months. For some people, it's even years. Why are you like that? Oh, because of that person did to me, 20 years, what they did 20 years ago to me, or 10 years ago, or, let it go. Not in sense of, let it go. But the thing is, you want the best life for yourself. If you don't feel good, if you want that other person to experience what you have experienced, if you're like, oh, I don't trust people because one person has lied to me and now I don't trust anyone, stuff like that, that's not going to bring you a happy life. I mean, I honestly can't really see how you hating someone is you having a wonderful life and wonderful time. So from that point of view, as many others, yes, you should forgive. Now, to come back to the part where my brother said, if you really truly forgave him, how come you're not, in touch with that person? That's part of your family. You have a child now. First of all, not only that person hasn't had any interests of asking me to come or whatever, but when you forgive someone, if you have a person that it's not gonna bring your happy day, like be someone that you really are excited to talk about, or for me, I don't want, I love you, I forgave you, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to be a part of my life. And maybe some of you want that, and that's up to you whether you're gonna allow that person that hurt you back into your life or not. But my choice, for now at least anyway, I don't need that person in my life. I've had that bad experiences, I did forgive, but it doesn't mean that someone who is on that low vibration, who's maybe gonna talk about negative stuff again, or did do something that I'm gonna bring back to my life. For me, it doesn't make any sense. So someone who's not gonna bring any good in your life, why would you bring them back? Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is not so you can tell the person, oh, I forgave you. You forgive for yourself. If you want to tell a person, it's fine. But you don't forgive so you can say, I forgave you. It's not bad. It's to have peace. It's to not have hatred. It's to have clear mind. It's to have, look at the experience, have the perspective of that experience, try to analyze it, try to learn from it, and move on. And that's what happened, in my case. I don't really hang out with many people, and I don't force anything. I don't spend time with people that I don't want to spend. I don't want people in my life that are not gonna be happy and that are not gonna be, I'm not saying everyone should be happy all the time, but if I don't enjoy spending time with that person, I'm not gonna spend time with you. It still baffles me, the story when people, have maybe neighbors and they come and they just invite themselves in and you have something else to do and you don't even like that person, but they're like, oh, well, I'm a good person. Maybe that person will do me good in a future. How is that making you a good person? If you're being from perspective of maybe I'll need that person someday, and although I hate spending time with that person, I'm gonna do it just in case I need that person someday. If you think that's making you a good person, everyone has their own definitions, but for me, that's not it. So again, like I said in the beginning, good person doesn't, if you're really who you are and you're confident in yourself and you think you're doing good, for me, that's lying to that person. Oh, come in, I want to spend time with you, put on a fake smile when you're really not in the mood. For me, that's lying. Again, everyone has their own definitions. But you're gonna get this the way that you are. And I'm just trying to maybe open your eyes or to see it from the different perspective of things, that you don't have to go through things that you don't want to. Especially if you don't have to say that to the neighbor, listen, I hate you. But you can say, listen, I have other things to do. And can we rearrange things? And we'll see in the near future, whatever, I just can't do it at the moment. Even that is just better than spending hour, 2 hours, 15 minutes even, with a person that you don't want to spend any time with. So that's the story with me and that family member. So that doesn't mean that you haven't forgiven, that you're that person, that whatever. Just means that that person is not going to bring any good to your life, and that you don't really need that person if that's the case, and that's it. So if you have anyone in your life that you don't want to spend time with, but you think you should, because let's say parents or society has taught you that that's what good person does, for me, that's not the case. And maybe you should start question certain things and to see whether, changing small bits like that can actually help you improve your life. And another thing, you really should start paying attention to yourself, giving 5 minutes a day for yourself, if anything. The more the merrier. But I've heard Oprah had this interview with a person, I can never remember the name, but she said you have to bring, do for your, I'm paraphrasing obviously, but to make your cup full, and everything that spills over, that's for other people. Because if your cup isn't full and you're giving that to someone, they're a thieves without them even knowing it. And for me, that was so awesome. I mean, years ago, I've listened to this for on repeat, because it was so good. So you have to make sure, well, you don't have to, but you should. I think it would, do you good to take care of yourself. Give yourself what you need. Fill that cup up, make it runneth over. I think that's what, the phrase she used. And then everything, all of that is for everyone else that you need there, whether it's your family, your job, your friends, anyone. And then you're good, because again, which is so good, you're making other person a thief without them even knowing it, because they're stealing something that you need. It's so good. Again, I have these things when I hear them and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. So that one of the phrases, I was like, wow, that is so good. So to wrap this thing up, because it's not my longest video ever, but should you forgive? My point of view, yes, with understanding first. Trying to not maybe analyze, I do analyze because I love it, but trying to see what they're coming from. Know they're not born that way. Know that what they did is not who they really are. Because if a person has been through torture, through not good childhood, if they didn't have love, how can they share a love that they don't have for themselves first? But they've never, discovered what that truly is. Although they really are love. I think every single one of us is love. But they forgot about that. So they don't know that they are, they don't believe that they are, For me, they've been lied to, and now they don't think that they deserve it, that they are enough. They think that they should, you know, whatever, it's etc. It doesn't really matter, you know, all the negative stuff that there is in the world. I think that's the loudest, maybe, because people who are happy, they don't care about spreading all that. But I do invite you to try making other people happier. Try to, if someone is going in your way, try to give them a positive word. When you're at the supermarket, try to say, you know, to that person at the cash register, you've been really lovely. I really, you know, do that. Once I was so surprised. I had no makeup, nothing. I was going back home. This was months ago. And this guy was walking the dog, minding his own business. We were going like this. And he just, when he was approaching me, he just said, "You're beautiful." And he just went on. And I was like, wow, you know, it's so cool. He didn't stay, he did nothing. He didn't, you know, not one of those cases, "Hey, hello, beautiful," or something. No, he just like, "You know, you're beautiful." He just went on. And I was like, thanks. That, you know, how amazing is that? And you can do that. You can make another human being, another person happy. For me, that's really good. That's what we should be doing. We don't need to focus on the bad. We don't need to focus on the negative. We don't need to focus on someone's, you know, flaws, whatever. Just try to do as much as you can to bring people up, to give them a positive vibe, positive words. Even on the street, you can take a walk and just say a random thing like that. But not random, but maybe it's random because you wouldn't do that before. It's really, really good. Not only doing that, but when you actually get that from other people, it's so, so cool. So I'm going to wrap this video up here, wrapping up the second time around. And I really hope that you'll forgive whoever hurt you. You don't need them in your life if you don't want them in your life. Forgive for yourself. That doesn't mean that that's justified or approved what they did. You don't have to tell that person that you forgave that person. There's so many meditations for forgiveness. If you want to do one of them, just go guided meditation for forgiveness. You can do that. You can visualize, you know, hugging that person and telling them, "I forgive you." So many other different things. Don't think it's gonna happen like this. It's not supposed to. It should be in your own time, but working towards it, it really pays off. Don't think it took me like a day to forgive that person, because I think out of all of the people in the world, that was maybe one of the hardest. Maybe not but I think it was the hardest, especially because of the time when it was, you know, being a teenager and stuff. But it really truly does pay off. And being without that, you know, drinking poison, I wish that person all the well things in life. And that's what you want. You don't want to think about a person that hurt you and go, "I wish he died." Don't. You don't need that for your own life, well-being, happiness. You don't need that. You don't need your power putting in someone else's hands when you can, you know, just be powerful as you are, because you are. Like I've said so many times, and I will still repeat, you are powerful, and take charge. You don't need to do that to yourself. That's not who you are. You're strong, you're powerful, you're beautiful, you're magnificent, and just be who you truly really are. And that's what you are. So there you go. Now I've been standing on the, kneeling on the bed. I'm just gonna, because I have to turn the video down because, you know, I don't edit. So, love you all so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.